Today we will discuss some more very important problems which is based on the riveted joint which is subjected to eccentric loading. So in that we will discuss the type 2 problems, that is eccentric load acting perpendicular to the axis of the rivet. Eccentric load acting perpendicular to the axis of the rivet. For example, if you observe here, so this is, for example, if you observe here, this is the axis of the rivet, so which is acting perpendicular to the eccentric load, which is acting perpendicular to this particular rivet axis. Okay, so this is also one of the important method which is subjected to riveted joints. Now first let us discuss the given problem. The problem is, determine the diameter of the rivet for a bracket riveted as shown in figure. This is a given figure. The allowable normal and shear stresses are 120 Newton per mm square and 60 Newton per mm square respectively. Okay, so determine the diameter of the rivet for a bracket riveted as shown in figure. The allowable normal and shear stress are 120 Newton per mm square and 60 Newton per mm square respectively. So this is a given problem. So this is a given figure. So here there is a riveted bracket. So here we have three rivets, so which is subjected to eccentric loading. The load which is acting perpendicular to this rivet axis, Okay, so here we need to note down the given data. With respect to this given problem. So the allowable normal and shear stresses which are given in the problem, that is sigma max is equal to 120 Newton per mm square, and the tau max, the shear stresses which is given in the problem, that is 60 Newton per mm square. So with respect to this, we need to find out the L1, L2, L3, and we need to find out that eccentricity. So you can see that, okay, here the eccentricity is different, okay, compared to the previous problems. The eccentricity is nothing but it is a distance of load. From the tilting edge. Okay, you can see this is a tilting edge with respect to this bracket. So with respect to this tilting edge, so the distance between the load, okay, the distance of load from the tilting edge, that we will call it as a eccentricity with respect to this type of problems. Next, apart from that, we need to find out that L1, L2, L3, okay, so which is subjected to based on how many number of rivets, okay, if that bracket is having. So with respect to this problem, we have three riveted rivets. So with respect to that, the distance of rivet from the tilting edge, okay, so that is called an L1, okay, and L2 is nothing but a distance of 2, okay, 2 from the tilting, and the rivet 2 from the tilting edge, okay, rivet 2 from the tilting edge, that is we will call it as the L2. Here L1 and L3, okay, both are in same axis, then okay, here we can directly consider L1 is equal to L3. Now first we need to find out the L1, L2, L3, then we need to find out the value of E1. So first parameter, find L1, L2, L3, and we need to find out E. Okay, so this is a parameter we need to find out. We know that okay, the L1 is the distance of rivet from the tilting edge. Okay, this is the distance of rivet from the tilting edge with respect to this given problem. Now you can see here, so 100 plus 200, so total distance, okay, the total distance we need to consider. So L1 is equal to 300 mm. So L1 and L3 both are in same axis, so that is equal to L3. Next we need to find out L2, okay, L2 we need to find out, okay, the distance of rivet 2 from the tilting edge. This is the tilting edge, so the distance of rivet 2, this is the rivet 2 from the tilting edge, that we will Okay, so that is 100 mm, 100. And next we need to find out the value of E. The value of E is nothing but the eccentricity. Eccentricity is defined as it is a distance of load from the tilting head. It is a distance of load from the tilting head. This is the load which is acting, eccentric load which is acting on this particular bracket. So at a distance, so 1200 mm up to the tilting head, E is equal to 1200 mm. E is equal to 1200 mm. Okay, this is how we can find out the L1, L2 and L3 and also the value of E Then we need to find out the second parameter, which is the direct shear load on each rivet. As we all know that the equation for the direct shear load direct shear load the direct shear load on each rivet, okay, that is equal to FD is equal to total load divided by the number of rivets, that is equal to total load 20 kilonewton which is acting on this particular bracket. So that is equal to 20,000 divided by number of rivets we have 3. If we simplify that, FD is equal to 6666.67 newtons. This is the value of FD. Okay, next what we need to find out? We need to find out the normal load across the 1, 2, 3. Okay, next parameter we need to find out the normal load across normal load on rivet 1, 2 and 3. Okay, next what we need to find out? We need to find out the value. We know the formula. F1 is equal to F into E into L1 divided by L1 square plus L2 square plus L3 square. If you substitute all the values into this equation, we know the value of F, that is 20 into 10 to the power 3 into E is equal to 1200 into what is the value of L1? L1 is equal to 300 divided by 300 square plus 100 square plus 300 square. If you simplify this, you will get F1 is equal to 37,894.7 Newton. 37,894.7 Newton. That is the value of F1. Okay. Same way, we need to find out the value for F2 and F3. Okay. So here both F1 and F2. Okay. So F1 and F3. F1 and F3 are in same axis. So F1 is equal to 37,894.7 Newton, which is also equal to F3, Next, what we need to find out? We need to find out the value of F2. We know the formula. F2 is equal to F1 divided by L1 into L2. If we substitute the values into this equation, we know the value of F1, that is 37,894.7 divided by, we know the value of L1, L1 is equal to 300 into, we know the value of L2, that is 100. If you simplify that, F2 is equal to, how much we will get? If you simplify this whole term, F2 is equal to 12,631 12,631 point. If you simplify this, you get 12,631.6 newtons. This is the value of F2. So these are the normal load on rivet number 1, 2 as well as the 3. Next we need to find out the diameter of the rivet. How to find out the diameter of the rivet? So diameter of the rivet. So with respect to this problem, the rivet 1 and 3, you can compare the values. Okay, so F1 is equal to 37,894.7 Newton, so which is also called it as F3. Okay, if you compare these two, so which are the heavily loaded riveted joints? So F1 as well as F3. So the rivets 1 and 3 are heavily loaded rivets. So the direct shear load, the direct shear stress the tau is equal to Ft divided by A. So we can also write like this: the direct shear stress tau is equal to Ft divided by A. So you can substitute the value. We know the value of Fd, that is 6,666.67 newtons divided by, we don't know the value of area, so substitute as it is. Next, the tensile stress on the most heavily loaded riveted joint. The tensile stress on most heavily loaded rivet due to normal load, that is sigma is equal to F1 divided by A. So if you substitute that value, we know the value of F1, 37,894.7 divided by area. Okay, as it is. Next, we need to determine the maximum, the principal or normal stresses. We need to find out the maximum. Normal stress, that is sigma max is equal to half into, we know the equation, half into sigma plus square root of sigma square plus 4 tau square. If we substitute all the values into this equation, so that is sigma max, we know that sigma max which is given in the problem, that is 120 is equal to half into, we know the value of sigma, that is sigma is equal to F1 by A, that is 37,000 894.7 divided by A plus square root of sigma square 37,894.7 divided by 2 whole square, so divided by A whole square plus tau 4 times of the tau value. The tau is equal to Ft by A, direct shear load. Okay, the direct shear load Ft by A, that is 6666.67 divided by A whole square. If you simplify this entire term, A is equal to, area is equal to 325.27 will get. Same way, we know the value of area, that is equal to pi d square by 4. If you substitute this value into this equation, okay, so we know that we'll get diameter d is equal to 20.35 mm. The diameter d is equal to 20.35 mm. Okay, next what we need to find out? We need to find out the maximum shear stress. Maximum shear stress. How to find out that maximum shear stress? You can find out the maximum shear stress by using maximum shear stress. We know the equation, that is tau max is equal to half into square root of sigma square plus 4 tau square. If you substitute all the values into that equation, half into square root of, we know the value of tau, that is 37,894.7 divided by A whole square plus 4 times of 6,666.67 divided by A whole square. If you simplify this, tau max, we know the value of tau max, that is 60, which is given in the problem. Okay, if you simplify this, we'll get A is equal to 334.76. If you substitute this value into pi d square by 4, if you simplify this, d is equal to 20.64 mm. This is the diameter of the rivet which is subjected to maximum shear stress. So from table 13.2 from the design data handbook, the standard diameter d is equal to 22 mm. This is the diameter of the rivet. The standard diameter d is equal to 22 mm with respect to this given problem.